name is BenFlyingRetro, and I'm embarking on a quest to purchase every classic GI Joe comic from the original 80s and 90s Marvel run. Warning. Hunting down individual issues from every corner of the globe in whatever order the universe decides to give me. Join me and my pal Steve every week as we discuss my latest find. Welcome to Chasing Joe. Chasing Joe. Whoa! It is episode 8 of Chasing Joe. You're in the right place. I'm BenFlyingRetro. That is a pumpkin or a jack-o'-lantern. This guy is
S-Jub7-8er.
Yes! We got ourselves another episode of Chasing Joe, and the postman has been... I'm recording this the day after Halloween. We had one of the best Halloweens I've ever had last night.
Oh, excellent, Ben.
Oh, it was so good. We did trick-or-treating, then we came back here, and then Phoenix came back from being on his BMX. He was trick-or-treating with the teens, like E.T., and then me and him watched Halloween. Oh, it was just great. What happened your neck of the woods, S-Jubs?
Down under. Oh, buddy. Let me just say, I don't think Australia is necessarily set up for Halloween as well as the Northern Hemisphere would be.
Is it just too hot?
You've got a jack-o'-lantern that still looks pretty fresh. When did you carve it?
I carved this puppy yesterday. So What we do, we go big on the patch, but then we just have them all around the house, and we don't carve until the day of Halloween.
Yeah, I'm a rookie, man. I'm doing all of this actually for the first time, kind of inspired by your story, man.
Okay.
But Elliot did backflips. There was no ways we could buy pumpkins and not carve them almost immediately. Big mistake. That combined with southern Australian heat, some particularly muggy weather, man, right. The mold that those things had, the moss, just like black moss growing out of it. And then they kind of caved in, they sagged, so all the faces kind of slid. It was particularly spooky. We would have hung on to them if it had not been for the smell.
Well, look, guys, if you are tuning in for the first time, S-Jubs, what happened between the years 1982 and 1994?
What a segue.
well, the greatest comic book run that ever happened.
I was going to say I was conceived and through to the ripe old age of 10.
Give me a year for that, S-Jubs, please.
84. November 84. I've got a birthday coming up, and it's a big one.
Okay, yeah, of course. Wow. Amazing. So you were born a year after Return of the Jedi came out. Okay, fine.
Droids.
I'm sure you caught it on VHS.
Yes. Well, I mean, if we're going to blow way off course, my vivid memory of Star Wars or receiving Star Wars was episode 6 first. So Return of the Jedi, because of it was readily available on VHS. That was the first Star Wars film I saw. Definitely. Sure. I only saw A New Hope, gosh, maybe 5 years later.
Yeah. Wow.
What a roundabout way of doing things. And a roundabout way of actually getting back to the fact that we are Chasing Joe, talking about GI Joe comics from 1982 to 1994.
Yes.
We found our way back, eventually.
Here we go. Well, look, I think after last week's episode where I was kind of like, geez, this is costing me a fortune. Guess who's come to the rescue again? It's Thomas Donaldson. Da-da-da-da. He sent me another issue. He is doing great work. I am so blessed. He's seen it fit to send me another issue of A-Ra. So this hasn't cost me a dime. So we do not need to adjust the tally. I'm going to open it up.
Damn, I was looking forward to getting it wrong again. Though you need to settle on what currency we do week to week. Sometimes it's dollarage, sometimes it's poundage.
I'm doing sterling, Republican credits, but then I'm also just saying what the total is in dollars as well. That throws you off.
Two currencies, and also you're calling poundage Republican credits, but last I checked, the UK wasn't a republic. South Africa's a republic.
There you go.
In name.
A Republican credit's useless, though, yeah?
No, Sterling is not useless, my friend.
No, but in Phantom Menace, Watto doesn't want Republican credits, or he does want Republican credits.
No, Republican credits are no good. Yeah, the Outer doesn't want Republican credits.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Okay, I'm opening up an issue.
What?
Look at this. What has he sent me? He sent me issue 94, September, with a cover date of December. Wow. Look at that.
Part 1 of the Snake Eyes trilogy, dude.
So this doesn't change my running total. So I'm still at £64.44, which is $84. That's 8 books, including 2 beautiful donations from, what was it, Springsteen 83, Thomas Donaldson?
The boss.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay, it's time to do the smell test. This is in a particularly baggy bag. Don't know what's going on there.
Nothing wrong with that, man. You could bag 2 comics in one board. Not like you're going to do that. That's something I would do.
I should have gone out on Halloween like this. Smells like an old man's wardrobe. Don't know how Tom's been storing these, but
not a reflection on you, Mr. Donaldson.
Smells like a wardrobe of some kind. Out it comes. Let me just get
got a Lucky Charms ad on the back. Isn't that cute? Did you ever have Lucky Charms?
No, but I'm staring at a box of Lucky Charms right now. In this room, we seem to display cereal boxes. I think I brought those back from a trip from the USA. But,
a retro box or a contemporary box?
It's a contemporary box, but it looks almost identical. Actually, no, it doesn't look anything like that. So, I mean, yeah. Can you solve Lucky Charms challenge? Probably not. But there you go.
Trying to find all the shapes. No, look, there's a 4-leaf clover as a mirror, etc.
Now, from a design point of view, I would say that they've broken a few rules here. That there's too many fonts for me here. Right. I think you've broken the rule that you've got. I tell you what, I love GI Joe in yellow, but then you've got this Snake Eyes trilogy box, Part 1, Warrior Reborn, and then for my money, this Snake Eyes gets a new face splash is so big that it's jogged Snake Eyes way down to the lower thirds, where I feel like really his eyeline should be in the middle of the page. It's a strange cover. I will say that the lighting on him is delicious. I mean, drink that in. What say you, S-Jubs?
Hey, man, they're rolling heavy by showing us his face on the cover. This is something that they've typically strayed away from. But, all the secrets are on the table now. The lighting's great. Very harsh lighting. Is this an Andy Kubert?
Yes, right. It is.
Well, yeah, for what it's worth. As you said, it's occupying the lower 2/3 of the page, which is unfortunate because it really deserves more of the cover. All that copy is just... It's a lot.
Yeah, if I was laying out a page, which I'm not, I would not do it like that. It's a little bit... It feels way too busy from a design point of view. A bit kind of scattershot, slap and dash.
Well, maybe that copy that says Snake Eyes gets a new face was a late edition because they really wanted to move books.
Yeah, I think
we need to embolden that fact that you're going to see his face.
S-Jubs, new one. I've forgotten, what's it called? Not direct to market. The newsstand edition. I've got newsstand edition.
Do you know? Let's have a look at that.
I do like that. What would happen if I scanned that now? Dude, I'm getting flashback 1990s barcode battler. Did that ever get on your radar?
Negative.
It was like some kind of games device where every barcode on the universe did something. It was called Barcode Battlers. Anyway,
Cool.
I'm just like, this is a
Was
stream.
it an electronic device that you
Yes.
went around scanning? Okay.
Viewers,
Cool.
you're just getting a stream of my consciousness now. Barcode battlers, hit the
I'll
comments.
add to that stream of consciousness. It reminds me of the days of the PlayStation Portable, and there was a Metal Gear Solid game where every time you went into a new Wi-Fi zone, you'd be able to collect a new soldier and recruit him for
Amazing. Was that game canon? What do you mean when you say PlayStation Portable? Was that the name of the
PSP?
Yeah, the PSP. Yes,
that
was it. Fantastic. Didn't do so well, I don't think.
Didn't it?
Not they had big plans for it. Had quite a small shelf life, but was there another Metal Gear game?
I thought it was around longer than its replacement, which was the PS Vita, I think.
I know, but it never went nuclear. Like it didn't change the game of handhelds in the same way that maybe like a Nintendo Switch has done. Yeah. But Metal Gear games, I am down for. In fact, Metal Gear and GI Joe, I don't know. They feel like there's some kind of link there. I remember getting GI Joe vibes when I was playing the first Metal Gear on the PS1.
Played some of that this afternoon, in fact.
Did you? Are you joking?
Showed it to Elliot for the first time.
Oh my day! There's something about. I know that there was some games on the NES, but let's just say the PS1 is like the first one. The Rogues Gallery and how cinematic that game was for then blew my mind. I just remember playing it and doing that infiltration with, again, like going under the tanks. I'd never played or seen anything like that. And Revolver Ocelot, it did remind me a little bit of Cobra, you know? But hey, this ain't a Metal Gear show.
Clearly, we've got a lot on our minds, man. We're all over the map. G.I. Joe's somewhere in the background. But yeah, what did you think of this issue, dude?
Should we open her up? We've done the cover.
Let's crack it open. I have a summary for anyone who doesn't want to read issue 94 of A Real American Hero.
I tell you what, dude, this book is trying to make me eat cereal just before you get into your summary. What the heck? Tricks?
I always wondered what these American cereals tasted like. Just like our candy discussion from 2 weeks ago.
Do you know what sugar tastes like?
Look, hey, there's that dispute about American chocolates versus British chocolates.
Yes, as in that Simpsons episode, they come over here and they go like, woo!
So not all sugar is the same, man.
Yeah.
Anyway, here's my summary. I'm going to punish you with it.
Do it.
It's set in 2 eras. In the present day, we're at the Byrne Institute of Reconstructive Surgery, where Snake Eyes is getting his face fixed. Like, back to, like, He-Man, blonde, beautiful goodness. Scarlet is with him, and Baroness ambushes the both of them. And then the second era, or first era, if you want to do chronologically, in 1968, in Saigon, Snake Eyes is chasing a pair of Viet Cong who have been dealing with Baroness's brother, Baron Eugène de Cobre. The situation goes bad with the Baron, resulting in his death at the hands of these Viet Cong. Snake Eyes gets the blame from Baroness. We then cut back to the present day, where Baroness shoots Scarlet, captures a heavily sedated Snake Eyes, and elsewhere, Raptor confronts Billy with the location of the real Cobra Commander, his father's burial place. I did it.
That was a fantastic synopsis. I mean, this is issue 94. We're right deep into the run, and we're getting new information about Snake Eyes and reveals from the Baroness.
One might argue that it's gone a step too far.
Ooh.
Like the soap opera of it has now entered like the realm of cosmic coincidence.
I like cosmic coincidence. That's a great phrase.
Okay.
Put that on a t-shirt.
It's not enough that Snake Eyes, Storm Shadow, and Stalker all met in Vietnam. They also tangled with the Baroness.
Oh, we forgot to mention we got Mark Bright on pencils.
Okay.
Here.
Any heavy opinions on his art?
Yeah. I mean, absolutely delicious. The drive-by shooting with that scooter silhouetted and the carnage in the back. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful. This is quite a mature issue, I think.
Yes, we've got a very junior soldier getting killed right before he ships out of Vietnam.
Yeah.
Just like the arbitrariness of that conflict, or any conflict for that matter. So yeah, mature indeed. But this scene, the big question that I had coming out of it was like, how many times do these boys get bullets passed through them? Because here we have Tommy getting like gut shot.
Oh yeah.
And he's leaking out bad. He needs a medic. Like, within one conflict, these 3 soldiers saw a lot of injuries. I mean, this is before Snake Eyes gets caught in the crossfire, and Tommy has to carry him back. So in the space of how many years they were in Vietnam, like, they got shot, went to the medics, healed up, went back into the field. Hey, it's comic book logic, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm sure they're all in therapy as well.
All I'm saying is no one caught the $1 million bullet or whatever, the golden bullet,
the big one.
Well, no, the injury that sends you back home.
Oh yeah.
Like,
What
they're
is
constantly
that?
getting shot, but no one's being discharged.
They actually don't want to go home. These guys, though, I think I was
Stay in
more
the shit.
drawn to the Scarlet storyline and the super exciting Night Viper and Alley Viper preparing to deploy and attack this medical facility.
Oh, so don't forget about Toxo, your boy there.
Well, dude, I've got in my notes. Where have we got that? It's just, why is there one sassy Toxo Viper that seems to think that he can just, chat to the Baroness about?
I feel like he's somehow the second in command of this.
Dude,
group.
I was waiting for a reveal. I honestly thought, I was like, hang on, he's probing here. What's with this dude?
I mean, exactly. Mouthing off to the Baroness, that's going to get him shot. Why are you taking this operation so seriously, Baroness? It's just business, right?
Wrong. I mean,
I've been waiting for a long time for this day.
Yeah, the gall on him. It's like, fall into line. I mean, you're lucky to be out with Alley Vipers and Night Vipers.
Yeah, because it's considered a punishment to be relegated to the Toxo Viper cadre.
For sure. And I was like, what? His speciality, he just has no business being on this mission. Strange. But anyway, that was an extremely exciting panel. We've got some of your transport helicopters as well, drawn a little bit differently.
Is oblivious to somehow. There's a shot of her on the phone to Hawk, and they're flying in the background, and she's like, meh, meh, meh.
I tell you one thing, man, when she clocks that nurse, I can actually feel the punch. I mean, that nurse would have lost all her teeth, S-Jubs. Like, seriously, that is a bloody mess. Look at that art. Wow.
Full wind-up.
Yeah, full wind-up. Good connection. I would say, much like me, after this show, I have a trip to the dentist, and I think that nurse certainly does.
Oof.
Yeah.
I have a favorite panel that I'm going to nominate almost immediately.
Oh, I bet we're similar. Go on. What is it?
Okay. So it's taken as read that they shoot out the lights because everything.
No, what does he say? Die Hard. Eastern Festa. Oh, no, that's Shoot the Glass. I'm getting my Die Hard quotes. Sorry.
Well, I mean, there's plenty of glass coming off these light
They're shooting at the lights. I think they're going after the lights.
And so it's done in this kind of silhouette, chiaroscuro, whatever.
Dude, I put the book down when that happened. When they're like, what does he say? Like, switch over to Night Vipers, switch over. And I was like, yes!
Image intensifier mode.
Oh,
then I
wanted some POV shots, though.
There's some art that might not make sense because we go straight into full color again.
Yeah. I mean,
do you know what's going on there?
Oh, wait a minute. Here we go. Let me just get with you.
Bullet flashes
that
are making the corridor seem lit.
Yeah, but do you think the colorist could have done a better job in bringing that?
In giving it more blues?
Yeah.
I don't know. The fact that it's in such vivid color, it's an artistic choice. He could have done that, sure. But like the bullet flashes are so bright, and look, it's casting heavy shadows on the walls behind all of the subjects. So like, it's just that amazing moment. I don't know if you remember Jungle Strike. This is from video games. But there's a stage where like every time you fire a rocket or a missile, something, make an explosion, like you see everything in broad daylight, basically.
Yeah, level 1, Washington, D.C. blew my mind after playing Desert Strike.
How many times did you destroy the White House?
Oh, first, yeah.
YouTube's they're going to cramp down on this video, man.
Oh, no.
Can't be saying shit like that.
Yeah, I could have done with the POV, I think. That would have been interesting. Probably
Isn't
wouldn't have suited.
POV?
No, Night Viper.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
You know, it
See
probably
what they
wouldn't
see.
have suited the aesthetic. Well, you've said your favorite panel, but
Do it.
I mean, mine is is 2 panels, but it's the alley vipers out on the ledge and then breach, and they smash through. It's actually like a very famous SAS mission that was on was live on the news when I was younger. I think it was an embassy,
Iranian embassy.
Yes,
1982.
You were just watching them like abseil down and then go into this building.
Were you now 1-year-old Ben?
I knew of it. I mean, the way that they just smash through like that. This is just my type of combat. Oh, I love it so much. You know, I like alley
Stalker
vipers.
gets hit in the past, as does Tommy. Scarlet takes a bullet through the arm, and off panel takes a bullet somewhere more vital. There's a lot of Joes getting plugged in this issue.
Yeah, for sure. I've got wait a minute. I think one of these pages, there's a lovely advert for Airwolf, which made me feel super nostalgic. Here we go. Oh, look at that. Airwolf,
you can fly.
The theme tune, fantastic.
I wonder how those things went. I mean, I think that they're tethered to you at all times. So they fly, but similar to a kite. You know, they're just kind of whizzing around your head. You're holding the whole thing.
Yeah, for sure. Is it
just doing endless circles?
I don't know. I never had it.
No.
I'm not sure. Did Airwolf hit you when you were a kid?
Yes, absolutely.
And then they made the film Blue Thunder. Have I got that right?
Never saw Blue Thunder.
Right. Yeah. It's funny, the little, what would you call this at the end? It's almost like the sort of vignette at the end where it just, you know, you think that is the last page, Baroness blasting Scarlet, and then you turn over and it's like, ooh, what's going on here? Billy's off to school.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. And then look,
reading these out of context, this is absolutely throwaway.
Yeah.
Because this is just feeding a narrative that is going to be picked up on much later.
Raptor,
I think Larry's obviously looking forward to the big reveal that the real Cobra Commander is back. So this is the seed of that moment. But as far as just reading this issue in isolation, you could skip the last 2 pages very happily.
Raptor's stepping out of a lovely red old school BMW by the looks of it.
What makes you say Beamer?
Is it not? I think it feels like it's meant to be. From the
front grille. That's the M.
Yeah. So, Snake Eyes Trilogy, Part 1, Warrior Reborn. He's not fully reborn yet in this issue.
Oh, he's useless in this issue. I mean, he's out of it. So are we to assume that Dr. Huntkinder and his nurse were trussed up by Scarlet? Like working alone. Like when I first read through it, I didn't realize Snake Eyes was completely out of it. So I figured they did that together. But no, on reread, I'm like, actually, Scarlet did all this fighting, punching nurses in the face, strapping the doctor to this wicked cool vertical operating table.
She's badass in this issue.
I mean, she is just slapping a mag in that Uzi and just letting rip.
I think it's a Mac 10 or Mac 11.
Oh, geez. Sorry,
Just
man.
FYI, bro. The comments, they're ruthless sometimes. I've learned this the hard way. Get your guns right, GI Joe, man.
But this is kind of my sort of issue, like an infiltration with some of my favorite Vipers. I mean, that's kind of what I want from a Joe book. So my glass is half full with this issue, S-Jubs. I don't know about you. You're probably maybe in the minutiae of the actual story. Yeah, you're saying they're over-egging it a little bit now with their treatment of Snake Eyes and his sort of never-ending history and cosmic consequence.
Or coincidence.
Or, yeah.
That one. Whatever. Yeah. Look, I don't want to berate a comic book for making good stories. I mean, like, don't let the likelihood of something occurring get in the way of telling a good story. Like giving Baroness a personal connection to have a revenge arc on Snake Eyes. It's narratively cool. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. I tell you what, man.
And Snake Eyes is the kind of guy who like can't really easily exonerate himself because the no speaking thing.
Yeah.
You think a lot of these dramas would be solved by the fact that, you know, just text a message, man. Just say something, bro. Write it out.
Fill in the blanks. The Toxo Viper is beautifully drawn in this book. When he's running. Well, wait a minute! I'm not having this.
What an exquisite toy!
Oh, he's one of my favorites because you can get. Oh, Floppy Joe!
Oof, getting your O-ring in that bad boy.
You can get messy with these guys. They want to get messy. You know?
Did you though?
Yes. They're on
a lot
cleanup.
of people talk the talk, man, but do you walk the walk? Did you get your Toxic Viper messy? I can't say I did.
Dude, I think I sent you some photos, I say recently, but like
setups.
Last year, I took him and we were walking somewhere in the woods and there was like these little tunnels and there was like foam coming out and I got him in there and it looked like he was doing some sort of cleanup op. Why is it that I've always loved this fig? And I'm sure he's such a nothing burger to some people. He was one of my favorite Vipers. I had like 3 or 4 of them.
Came at the right time, Ben. And the removable helmet goes a long way.
Yes,
it's a value add. If you're a child, if you came up in the age of Star Wars, any character that had a space helmet was elevated. And not only that, but like if you were a fan of Mask, this is a cool mask. Yeah. And by that I mean Mobile Assault Strike Command. Mask Crusaders. You know, the guys with cool vehicles.
Oh, dude.
And had masks that could like breathe fire or fire stilettos.
Tracker and Venom. They came as 2-packs. You can get single figures, could you? They always came as a 2-pack.
Yeah, but I never got excited about figures of that size. To me, this was the perfect scale.
Yeah.
They could grip weapons, they could hold backpacks, and have removable helmets, but skis.
You're not just thumbing this helmet on and it's sitting wonky and you're hoping for the best. The fact that there's hard plastic and purchase there, when it's on, it's on. And you can almost
click to it.
Yeah, you can almost, like that Darth Vader when his helmet comes, you can sort of feel that vacuum, you know? It's kind of... Or is it? Because their suits are apparently quite leaky and not actually that great. So
those layers of like dark humor kind of didn't land for me as a 4-year-old.
Yeah.
I mean, reading back the Far Card now, it's priceless. Like, how confident would you feel if your suit was built by the lowest bidder?
Yeah.
Cobra really got the budget.
There's
hazmats.
The kind of the play that I would have would be, you know, you'd have a huge skirmish in a big battle and then, you know, that was done, that was over. And then these guys would effectively rock up as cleaners, just, you know, making it safe, cleaning up any toxic waste or anything like that. And the more
have been the sort of first wave. in a kind of a really environmentally destabilized area.
I never had them as spreading chemicals and sort of toxins. I had them as, no, you're here to like make it safe for us to come in and then do what we've got to do. Did you have them more?
I did it the other way around. Look, in my play, the areas where Toxovipers would do battle were areas that were like already environmentally like destroyed. Toxic gas, acid rain, like puddles of slime that was highly dangerous, caustic stuff.
Yeah.
And so these guys were sent into those areas to, like, if there was an objective, like a high value target that had crash landed there, escape from New York style.
Yeah.
These guys would be on the ground trying to achieve the objective, secure it.
Which brings me back to this issue. He's got absolutely no business being in that environment unless he's there to clean the toilets. But look,
absolutely, he's Baroness's second. He's right there with her.
Seeing the Alley Vipers as a squad in here did make me bring up their file card.
Oh,
and I just
a new section on Chasing Joe.
Well, yeah, I just want to read this little bit because it's great. So, in order to graduate from their training program, they are required to survive a full burst of machine gun fire across their frontal body armor, execute a 30-foot jump onto concrete with full combat load, and run down a 100-meter gas-filled corridor without a gas mask. Quite the test. Out of all of those things, the 30-foot jump onto concrete is like, okay, you're just surviving that, are you? And you want to hope that their suit and armor isn't lowest bidder because they have to take a burst of machine gun fire to the chest.
So you want it heavy enough to stop bullets, but light enough to not drive your shin bones through your...
I just like the idea of those three
scapula.
Things happening within 5 minutes of each other as well. It's just like, there's your machine gun burst, jump, run through the gas. Yeah, they're badass. They are badass.
It kind of makes you wonder which is the cushiest Viper assignment, because a lot of them have these almost suicidal final exams. Rock Viper, you get dropped off on the top of a mesa with only half as much rope as you need to actually get to the bottom.
Yeah,
so they go as far as they can go, and then they drop the rest of the way and hope they land on something soft. I mean,
yeah. And it says that their kit and everything is like 50 pounds. It's like 23 kilograms. It's absolutely absurd.
These guys are monsters, man.
Yeah, really are. So I think I am going to look at more file cards are just great, man. When in doubt, you go to the file card and you just
the only
live by
canon
that.
I recognize.
Yeah, totally.
You can't go wrong.
I know.
Or can you? There's some dodgy file cards beyond.
You can probably tie yourself in knots with it a little bit. Maybe.
I mean, it gets pretty ropey in the 90s. 93 and 94. Woohoo! We got talk of like starfighter pilots and freighter pilots navigating black holes. Like,
oh wow!
Yeah.
Okay.
Star Brigade, man. It's a wild time.
Anything else we want to say about this issue? How do you feel about the art in this issue, S-Jubs?
I've been on record saying that I think Mark Bright illustrates only one kind of face.
Okay.
Whether you're Asian, black, or white, like he's got a signature like face.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's excellent, or was. I mean, we are recording this in the year that sadly Mark Bright passed away.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, he was an artist of great notes. Like, I mean, probably the most famous Iron Man story arc, the Armor Wars. That's all Mark.
Right.
Basically. Yeah, and I mean, he did a massive stint on GI Joe, so I'd be a hypocrite if I didn't love his work. It's kind of bubbly in places. There's definitely like a signature look to it that's very much its own thing,
Right.
Unlike anything else. And by bubbly, let me just bring up the money shot when Scarlet is blasted by Baroness right at the end.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's an interesting one. Yeah. Look at this.
And like muzzle flashes are always going to be this kind of bubble around the gun.
There's a simplicity to that though that's quite nice.
It's very comic booky.
Yeah.
He's not trying to do high fidelity, like imitating real. He's doing his own thing. But I always feel like a bit of a charlatan passing judgment on art because I can't draw for shit.
Yeah, for sure.
The only thing I can do is make comparisons between him and other GI Joe artists that I really enjoy. And look, he really comes into his own. I tell you, the true test of any GI Joe artist is drawing the signature tech, like the toys. Vipers that are very, very signature, like the Crayola era of Vipers is pretty much handled by Mark exclusively. Like the 1989 series of like Night Alley, I'm blanking on one, Frag, Annihilators, that's all Mark Bright.
It's a great year.
He does it very well. Very, very well.
This is why we love the floppies. Look at this. Double page spread of Saturday morning cartoons. Wow. You got Karate Kid in there, Alvin and the Chipmunks, Saved by the Bell. Saturday mornings were really something special back then. But I think I've said all I want to say about this issue, unless you want to add anything else, S-Jubs.
No, we are out. Another episode of Talking Joe in the can. Oh, Chasing Joe in the can. Whoopsie. Mark, I know you're listening, bro. There's a secret plug. Check out Talking Joe with Mark and Tim.
Chips Ahoy as well. Jeez. Okay, well, everyone knows where to find us. We're going to be here next week for another exciting episode of Chasing Joe. I'm BenFlyingRetro. You can find me over on Instagram where I'm trying to do clip outs of this show and some behind the scenes. How's the flagship going, S-Jubs? What have we got coming up?
Sailing nicely. So as of this release, you will have GI Joburg episode 350 in the can already. So if you haven't listened to it already...
It's quiz night, isn't it? Quiz night.
It's quiz night, yeah. We're going to look back at our first year in podcasting.
I'd like to see some photos of that or some images. Wow.
Images of a radio show.
Well, you would have been... so you weren't... Of course, when did you switch to YouTube?
Oh, gosh. We did a few, I think, back in... I'm going to say 2019.
So you were in your late 20s when you started GI Joburg?
Affirmative.
Wow. That is quite the journey. You've gone all the way through your 30s.
Yeah. I mean, like, if anyone pains themselves to listen to the back catalogue, maybe they'll see this kind of progression from young and hopeful to old and jaded.
What did you have?
Married with children.
Did you have like a format to the show back then? Or were you just chatting about Joe?
I think our earliest ambitions were to do list shows with a twist. We'd do like random shit, like our top 5 favorite action figure backpacks. Like fun stuff that got you thinking. Or our favorite, like...
Firefly.
I mean, favorite Firefly, I don't know. Some of them got a bit whimsical. I think in episode 69...
No, but his backpack was good, I mean.
Oh, yeah. It's not the one that comes to mind, though. I'd much rather have like a Destro backpack. Have you ever seen version 1 Destro's backpack?
Yes. Amazing. The clip, and the fold out. Is it?
Yes.
Yeah.
All incredible. Those goodies in there. Give an arms dealer arms to deal.
My mind's gone blank. The Joe that had his... Was it a sniper rifle that you built?
Bullhorn. Disqualified though, not a backpack. Oh, no, it was a backpack. Sorry, I'm thinking of a case. Did have a back plug.
Yeah.
You're right. Did you ever get that guy to accurately hold his rifle?
No, that was the bad bit about it once you build it.
Got it kind of arrested on his arm. Boom.
Yeah. I have him. To be fair, he is a bit of a nothing burger, actually. I mean, does he feature in the comic?
His main feature comes in the second animated series.
Okay.
DIC animation.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, look, I think that about wraps it up for episode 8. We will see you same place, same time next week.
Oh, yes.
Yo, Joe!
Yo!